Hey guys, what's up? This is Joshua here, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to make custom tokens. Here's some examples of what I've done. This is an Odd Eyes Dragon token, Ree's Whirlwind of Gusto token, and a Photon Pirate token. You're going to need a token and a holographic Yu-Gi-Oh card, meaning a super rare or ultra rare. I'm not sure if this works with secret rares. I haven't tried it. You can go ahead if you don't mind losing a secret rare. Do not use this with rares or commons because you will just ruin the card. And you will need a token, of course. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be using Gishki Photo Mirror because, I mean, the card itself is awful, but the picture is very cool. I'm using a super rare. It does not matter the rarity of the token. It can be a common as well. It doesn't really matter. I'm just using an ultra rare token because I have buttloads of these, and I think it looks cooler with the name also in holographic. I'm going to mention that you want to make sure that the image for the card you're making into the token, like Gishki Photo Mirror, has the image the same size as the token you're using, or bigger. By this I mean, okay, for example, I'm going to turn a Steel Swarm Cell into a token, and I'm using this token right here. Well, if you put these two together, you'll notice that... Second, give me lined it up. Okay, that Steel Swarm Cell's picture is slightly smaller. That's because it's one of the older cards, and the token is one of the newer ones. If you're using an older token as well as a older holographic, if you notice, this comes in a Legendary Collection, I believe. You can notice that they are the same size. Also, if you use one of the newer cards on an older token, as long as you get all the border in, it'll look just as well on the token. So, always make sure that the token and the card you're using to make into the token are the same size, because you don't want some of the edges showing of the token image, because that will look bad. Things you're going to be needing is some glue. You can use stick glue or whatever. I'm just using school glue. Some sharp scissors. You do not want dull scissors because that will just knot the picture and kind of distort it a little bit. And paper towels or napkins, whatever, anything to dry and wipe. I wouldn't use a towel because you are going to have to be wiping up some of the glue. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now what I've done is I filled a bowl up with warm water. You can plug a sink and fill it with hot water or whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters if it's cold or not. I always go for hot because it seems to work a little bit better. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to drop your card in there. Yes, it will ruin the card. If it just floats to the top, then you're going to need to put something on it to hold it down, like maybe a quarter or something. I'll just go ahead and put one on there because it's floating up. If it's not enough, just put another one on it. You want to make sure it is completely submerged under the water, and you're going to leave it under there for maybe an hour, maybe a little bit less. You want to leave it in there for quite a while. If you take it out a little early, it will just be harder to get the excess off later, which I'll explain to you in a little bit. So I'm just going to let that soak in there, and then I'll continue the video. Alright, the card has been soaking for a little while. I haven't waited a full hour because I'm very impatient. As you notice, it's starting to curl. That will allow you to kind of get the edge and try to peel the paper off of the foil. The entire image, the name, the description, everything, is foil. So, I didn't get this because I didn't soak it as long. I didn't get it very well. But you're going to try to do that on every single side. Getting it as close to the actual foil as possible. As you can see, peeling a bunch of paper off and just peeling the foil off. You want to get as thin as possible, because all this paper you see, we're going to have to wipe off. So, I should have let mine soak longer. Just going to peel off everything. Yeah, I really should have let mine soak longer. That's why you want to wait as long as possible. I wouldn't leave it in there overnight. I don't think that would be too great for the picture, because I have noticed the picture, a lot of the time it just chips off, and then it totally ruins the image. So you want to be very careful of how hard you grab the image, because you do not want to knock a piece of the image off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back under the water, and I'm going to kind of rub, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm rubbing the excess paper off of the back of the foil. See this little, how it kind of balled up right there? We're going to wipe all of that off. You want to keep on wiping it off until all of the paper is off of the foil, to make it as thin as possible and as smooth as possible. It doesn't really matter if you get it all like near the description or the name. You just want it all from under the picture. You want all of that off. Be careful, very careful, with putting your fingers on the image. You don't want to move them around, because that will chip some of the image off. So we're just going to keep on doing this until it is all the way done. Get all this paper off, and then I'll continue the video from there. You guys, so we the water's all foggy and filled with paper now. We scraped as much as we could off of the back. It's very smooth now. And once you're done with that, you're going to just move the bolt, and you're going to make sure that the surface is completely dry, and you're going to place your image down and get a paper towel or napkin or whatever you're going to use, and you're going to dab it. You don't want to wipe, because you will chip some of the image off. Like I said, you want to be very, very careful with the image. We're just going to do that very gently. Then we're going to pick it up, dry underneath it, and flip it over. And do the same thing on this side. Make sure it doesn't move around, because, well, the image is face down, and you don't want to scrape little pieces of the image off. So once it's all dry, we're going to go ahead and take it and dry off the bottom. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut the image out of from the description and name and everything. If you see this little border around the picture, get my camera to focus on it, if it decides to, there we go. See this little border around it, this gray border? We're going to try to get as much of that with the picture as possible. If you don't, then it's just a lot harder to line up with the token. You're going to try to get all of the green or orange, if you're using a monster, out of it, so you can't see any on the token, but we're going to try to get as much of that border as possible, and we're going to go all the way around the token, I mean the image, I'm sorry. Make sure you don't like kind of crease the image or anything, because it will kind of ruin the picture. It's very gentle when it's off of the paper. So we're just going to keep cutting, and I'll continue the video from there. Alright, so I finished cutting the image out. This is what I got. There's a little bit of paper there. You can just go ahead and kind of grab it and pull it off. As you can see, I did get as much of the border as I possibly could. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure the picture is completely dry. And we're going to grab the token. And here comes the fun part. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that you are going to need like a credit card or top loader or something, in the sense to where you can squeegee as much of the glue out from under the picture as you possibly can. I'm just going to kind of move this stuff over. Alright, I prefer to put the glue on the token and not the back of the image. I just find it easier to line up like that, but you can do either one. You're going to want to put a decent amount. You don't need all of the glue, so if you're trying not to waste the glue, then don't put that much. But if you don't put a lot on and make sure it's in every single bit of the image, then little pieces will start to come up and it will look very bad. So I'm just going to be very generous with the glue. Only getting it on the image. It doesn't matter if you get it all over the token, because we'll wipe that up later. You can't even tell. As you can see, I'm being very, very generous with the glue. I got way too much, but I want to make sure that it's enough. Alright, so now we're going to take the image and try to line it up. and just drop it on the glue. Kind of push it down a little bit, very gently. And also, if you see a little bit of the glue get on the actual image itself, don't worry, it'll kind of distort the picture a little bit, but we'll just wipe it off later and it'll go right back to normal. It scared me the first time, but it just wipes right off. So we're just going to keep on making sure it gets out of every little corner. I don't know why it didn't come out of that corner. We're just going to keep on. And now we're going to get our squeegee, credit card, or whatever, top loader. The picture is going to move all around, so don't worry about it being completely lined up just yet. I'm going to squeegee it out from every corner. Kind of get it off that card. Wipe the card off. Alright, now we're going to line it up. You want to make sure it's lined up as much as you possibly can. Kind of hold it down a little bit. Get all that glue out from underneath it. As you can see, when you do that, kind of moves it, and you can kind of see the pink where the token is. You're just going to move the picture. There we go. Go over it a couple times. Try to go every way, just so you make sure that it is stuck down in every corner. There we go. Alright, now we're going to get a napkin or paper towel. I'm just going to dip mine in the water that we use to soak the card itself in, and we're going to get it wet, and we're going to, well, wipe up all this glue first. You don't want this glue down here. You don't want to set it in the glue. We're just going to wipe all of it up real quick. Try to hurry so you get to the card before the glue dries. Just going to put this paper down just in case. We're going to put the card on it, and we're going to get a wet paper towel, and we are going to wipe the card. Get all that glue off of the card so it doesn't leave weird stains, I guess you could say. If you move like your head or the card into a certain angle in the light, you will be able to see where all the glue is. Be very careful wiping off the picture. Do not press very hard because it will chip some of the image off. Like I said, the image is very sensitive. Just kind of gently wipe it. If the image is a little distorted on the picture, then don't worry about it. That's just some of the glue, and you just need to wipe it off. Don't worry about pressing hard, like on the name. Doesn't matter. Just go ahead and scrape it as hard as you want. Also, there's going to be glue all over the back. Don't worry about that. We'll get to that last. That is the least of my worries right now. Just going to keep on. Make sure all the glue is off of the card. Dry it off if you have to. I'm just going to keep on drying mine off. Okay, move it in the light to see if the glue. I think I've got mine pretty well. I'm just going to put another piece of paper down. This Dairy Queen paper. Just keep on wiping it off. Continue being careful with the image. Alright, now we're going to get the back. Make sure nothing is underneath the image because you don't want to have to wipe that off all over again. We're just going to go ahead and wipe all of that glue off the back or whatever got on the back. Either water or glue. I always get glue on the back of mine for some reason. Just going to go ahead and wipe that off. And we are pretty much done. We're just going to kind of wipe this off just a little bit more. However much you think you need. I think I've got mine after this. I'll just dry it up real quick. Alright, and there we have our token. We're going to wait for the glue to dry a little bit underneath the image before we put it in a sleeve, because I've noticed if you put it in a sleeve right after you make it, it will kind of come up from under the picture and it'll get all over the sleeve, and we don't want that. So we're just going to leave it out a little bit, let the glue dry, and then we're going to go ahead and put it in the sleeve. And if you notice how I move it in the light, you can see like water on it. Just make sure all of that's off, dry it off, whatever. So yeah, there is our token. It looks very cool. Thank you for watching, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos.